समारोपितवामभागं पाणौ महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम् अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं धनुजवनकृशानं ज्ञानिनाम् अग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणाम् अधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि नमः श्री तुलसीदास सद्वरिष्ठाय धीमते पूरितं हृदयं येन राम प्रेमामृतेन मे। Again, Hari Om to all of you. Okay, let us see. Ilaji, do you want to go ahead and chant this Satpanch today? No? Okay, as I said, I cannot hear anybody today. Okay, Ilaji, it starts from 64. Doha 64. 3 lines before that, Pratamahi Ati Anuraga Bhavani.
No, Gitaji. Don't want to. No.
Okay. Shalu, you want to chant?
Anji, yes, I want to. Can you hear me, Gitaji? Can you hear me?
No. Okay, Shalu, go ahead and chant a mass. So, 3 lines before Doha 64, start from Pratamahi Ati Anuraga Bhavani.
Okay. Nice. प्रथमहि अति अनुराग भवानी रामचरित सह कहे सि बखानी पुनि नारद कह कर मोह अपारा कहे सि बहुरी रावण अवतारा प्रभु अवतार कथा पुनि गाई तब सुचरित कहे सि मन लाई बाल चरित कही विधि विधि मन महु परम उछा ऋषि आग बगन कहे सी पुनि शिर रघुबीर विवाह बहुरी राम अभिषेक प्रसंगा पुनि नरप बचन राज रस भंगा पुरपा सिन्ह कर बिरह बिसादा कहे सी राम लक्ष्मण संवादा विपिन गवन के वट अनुरागा सुरसरी उत्तरी निवास प्रयागा बाल्मीकि प्रभु मिलन बखाना चित्रकूट जिमि बसे भगवाना सचिवागवन नगर नृप मरना भरता गवन प्रेम बहु बरना करी नृप क्रिया संगपुर बासी भरत गए जहाँ प्रभु सुख राशि पुनि रघुपति बहु विधि समुझाए ले पादुका अवधपुर आए भरत रहनी सुरपति सुत करनी प्रभु अरु अत्रि भेंट पुनि परनी कही विराट बद जेहि विधि देह तजी सर्वंग बरनी सुति छन प्रीति पुनि प्रभु अगस्ती सतसंग कही दंडक बन पावन ताई गीध मैत्री पुनि तेहि गाई पुनि प्रभु पंच बटी कृत भाषा भंजी सकल मुनिन की त्रासा पुनि लक्ष्मण उपदेश अनुपा सूप नखा जिमि किन्हि कुरूपा खरदूषण बद बहुरी बखाना जिमि सब मर्मु दसानन जाना दस कंधर मारीच बत कही जेहि विधि बही सो सब तेहि कही पुनि माया सीता कर हरना श्री रघुबीर बिरह कछु भरना पुनि प्रभु गीत क्रिया जिमि कीन्ही विधि कम्बत सबरी गति दिन्ही बहुरी बिरह बरनत रघुबीरा जेहि विधि गए सरोवर तीरा प्रभु नारद संवाद कही मारुति मिलन प्रसंग पुनि सुग्रीव मिताई बाले प्राण कर भंग कपि तिलक करी प्रभु कृत शैल प्रवर्षण पास वर्णन वर्षा शरद अरु राम रोष कपि त्रास जेहि विधि कपिपति कीस पठाए सीता खोज सकल दिस धाये विबर प्रवेश किन्हा जेहि भांति कपिन्ह बहोरी मिला संपाति सुनि सब कथा समीर कुमारा नाकत भयो पयोधि अपारा लंका कपीस प्रवेश जिमि कीन्हा पुनि सीथि दिरजु जिमि दीन्हा बन उजारी रावण ही प्रबोधि पुर दहिना घेउ बहोरी पयोधि आए कपि सब जहाँ रघुराई बैदेही की कुशल सुनाई सेन समेति जथा रघुबीरा उतरे जाय बारी निधि तीरा मिला विभीषण जेहि विधि आए सागर निग्रह कथा सुनाई तेंतु बहादी कपि सेन
Thank you,
जिनि
Shalu. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You were able to
Okay,
hear me, Gita ji?
so we saw the whole Satpanch and then we are continuing it. And in the last class, we were talking about the moha. Kakabhushandi is talking about the moha, which Garudaji came under, and he was completely deluded. And that is the reason he did not recognize that Sri Ramchandra ji is his own Prabhu, Narayan Bhagavan, Vishnu Bhagavan, who has taken the avatar. So he had come to Kakabhushandi to get his delusion and the doubts removed. So Kakabhushandi is talking about the delusions, about moha he's talking about. So today we are going to continue after the Doha number 70. Okay. We start with Gunakruta Sanyapata Nahikehi. Okay, that's where we are going to start today. Gunakruta Sanyapata Nahakehi Kovunamana Madatajavu Nibehi Joban Jwara Kehi Nahi Balakawa Mamata Kehi Karajasana Nasawa Machara Kahi Kalanka Nalawa Kahi Nasok Samira Dolava Chinta Sampini Ko Nahi Kaya को जग जाहि न व्यापी माया कीट मनोरथ दारु शरीर जहि न लाग गुण को असधीरा सुत बितलोक ईशनातीनि केहि कई मति न कृतन मलिनी यह सब माया कर परिवार प्रबल अमिति को बर नहीं पारा शिव चतुरान न जाहि डराहि अपर जीव केहि लेखे माही व्यापी रहे वो संसार मोह माया कटक प्रचंड सेनापति कामादिभट दंभ कपट पाषंड सोदासी रघुबीर कई समुझे मिथ्या सोपी छूट न राम कृपा बिनु नात कहूँ पद रोपि सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. So Gunakruta Sanyapata Nahikehi Kovunamana Mada Tajavu Nibehi. So in Bhagavad Gita in the 14th chapter we have seen the gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. There we saw how the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas bind. Even Sattva binds. And how Sattva binds? It binds by happiness. And even like happiness, it doesn't mean to be materialistic happiness only. So even when you have the knowledge, like oh, this is what the self is, I am the Atman, I know everything about it, even that itself, say, I know so much, and you get attached to that one. So that was sattva, attaches to happiness, and rajas to action, and then tamas to, heedlessness, or what you call, the, it covers the knowledge. Okay, so that's how it, the tamas also is a kind of moha only. So these are the prakriti gunas. So here guna kruta sanyapata nahi kehi. So say, in the language of Ayurveda, okay, what we call in Ayurveda, we say vata, kapha, and pitta. Okay, when these three, all three of them attack together, okay, what happens? There is this delirium. The person doesn't know what he's saying. He just keeps on blabbering, and and you cannot control. Like that, even this guna kruta sanyapata. So when these three gunas appear in us, okay, we are in different moods at that time. At that time, what happens? This mana mada kovuna mana mada tajavu nibhi. So when the gunas are there, how we behave, how we get attached, how we are deluded, okay, those things, you cannot really describe completely. And not only that, that will, the gunas cause the moha also. Not only that, even kovuna manamada tajavu nibehi. So even this pride and arrogance, okay, that is, what is pride? That is overestimation of oneself. And when we overestimate, we demand respect from other people, because I'm so and so, they should respect me, like that. So that it does not leave anybody. And mana and mada, both pride and arrogance, both of them. See, they say, when there is a close relative, a friend, or your parents, or somebody, who is very, very close to you, who is very attached to you, and they leave this body. And then what happens? We call that smashana vairagya. We think, everything is illusory. I don't want anything. You get that feeling, and that feeling only lasts for few days only, and it will go away. But when this mana and mada, the pride and arrogance, when we are stuck with that one, it does not leave even for a moment. Okay, so even when there is this stinking smell around us, okay, even then, who is there who is void of this pride and arrogance? That's what here Kakabhushan is telling. That means everyone does come under this moha, mana, and mada. That's what he is telling. Then jobana jwara kehi nahi balakava, mamata kehi kara jasana nasava. So who is the person who is not fooled or maddened by the fever of youth? Guru, you should see how Guruji explains this fear of youth. He says, you should see the way they drive their motorcycle, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they dress up. So that is Yovana Jwara. You can see they're completely different. Okay, so here, but Bhartruhari in Shungara Shatakam, he has written a verse on this Yovana Jwara. Okay, Jobana Jwara is Yovana Jwara. So he says, when there is this fever of a youth, he dances, jumping up and down in excitement. And at that time, how it is like? It is just like moon is covered by the clouds. The same way, his knowledge is also covered. Saying, what knowledge? Even this youth is not permanent. Okay, so that is covered by that, and he forgets about that in this fever of youth. So it covers all your good thoughts, the spiritual thoughts, and the destruction that is caused by this Yavana Jwara. Bhartruhari says you can never compare to any other destruction. Swami Prakashanandaji makes a joke. There was this man, who had a collection of this encyclopedia books. So he took those books to sell them. So the man asked, why are you selling all your encyclopedias? He said, I have a teenager who knows everything. See, that is one character of these teenagers. You say, you try to say something, I know it, I know it, I know it. Guruji always used to say, when the father calls him and, saying, now it is time to talk to him about the life. And he says, son, I want to say something to you. Please come and sit with me. He says, comes and he says, I would like to talk to you about life, like dating and all that. So the son asks, Daddy, what do you want to know? So that means he knows everything. So that is Yovana Jwara. So that is what is said here. Yovana Jwara kehi nahi balakava. That is, what is it that does not turn upside down, topsy-turvy. That is the balakava means. And mamata kehi kara jasana nasawa. So, and who is that person whose great name and fame, reputation was not destroyed by mamata? The best example that we can take, that we all know of, is Dhritarashtra. We have all studying Bhagavad Gita, some here, maybe not continuously, but you all have heard of Bhagavad Gita. How does that Bhagavad Gita start? Dhritarashtra asks, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yayutsava, Mamaka Pandavaschaiva. What does he say? What happened? What did my children, Mamaka and Pandavaschaiva and Pandu's children do on the battlefield? There is that I-ness, minus, it is my children. That is what you call mamata here. So this possessiveness, and the attachment destroys even one's reputation also here. Machara kahi kalankana lava, kahina soku samiru dolava. So machara is matsara. What is matsara? Mattaha charati matsaraha. So if somebody is going little ahead of you, you want to pull that person back. That is called matsara. That is called jealousy. So because you don't like anybody going, in front of you. So you want to bring them down. That is called matsara. And because of this, what happens? Because of this envy and jealousy, kai kalankana lava. Who is that who has not lost its good name? Because of jealousy, you try to do something that is not supposed to be done. So you get a bad name also, the kalanka. And kahina soku samira dolava. And who is there who is not shaken up by this the shoka? Samira shoka means it's a wind of a shoka, or you can say hurricane, or in like a strong wind of shoka. Who is it that is not shaken by that one? We have seen in the weather when there is strong winds, even the trees that were 100 years old, which has roots are spread everywhere, even they fall. Okay, so this shoka is like that only. So shoka samiru dalava means there's nobody who is not shaken up by the sadness. Okay, so even if we take our Ramayana, Mahabharata and all, Ravana, how strong he was, but even he cried when Kumbhakarna died and Indrajit died. So so you can say even a wicked person like Ravana, even he is come over by grief. So even sattvic people also, they cry out of grief. We can say when Lord Krishna was leaving this world, how many people were crying. Okay, and even Arjuna, great warrior, when Abhimanyu died. So like this, whether people are sattvic, mighty or wicked, grief will shake them up. Grief makes them cry. Because that's what he is telling here. And then Chinta Sampiniko. Okay, so very beautifully here Tulsidas ji has compared the shoka to Samira, that is the wind. Chinta Sampiniko nahi kaya ko jaga jahina byapi maya. So who is there who is not bitten by chinta? Chinta is what? We all know, worries. We worry about the past, we worry about the future, and we worry about the present also, and we don't live without worries at all. And so, and this chinta here, it is compared to Sampini, a snake. So here Kakabhushan says, who is that person who is not bitten by the worries here? So we have heard that, chinta chita saman hai. So it is like a funeral pyre. It burns the man. But there is a difference between chita and chinta. Funeral, the pyre burns the person only once. But chinta, it burns the human being again and again and again. There is a subhashita on this one. It says, chintayascha chitayascha bindu matram vishishyate. Chita dahati nirjivam, chinta dahati jivinam. So between chinta and chita, there is only a difference of a bindu, a dot. That's all there is a difference. And chita burns a lifeless person, but chinta burns a person as long as his life is there. So chinta sampiniko nahi kaya. So is there a person who is not bitten by the snake of this worries? Ko jaga nahina vyapi maya. So is there anyone in this world who is not overcome by maya? So that maya is that delusive power of Bhagavan. Koti manorata daru sarira jehina lagu ghanu ko asa dhira. So, and who is that? The dhira purusha, dhira, that very strong person whose body is not eaten away by the insect of manoratha here. So what is manoratha? Manoratha is the whims and fancies, of just a wishful thinking. That is called manoratha. So here, daru sarira. Daru is a piece of wood. Okay, and that wood is compared to your body is compared to that wood here. And manoratha is the fanciful desires. And then it says here, kita. What is this kita? You can say termites. So who is that person, okay, whose body is not eaten by these termites? Of what? This manoratha, these cravings and desires. That means everyone is eaten by this manoratha here. And so kita, it can also mean a bee. A bee makes a hole in the wood also, a piece of wood also. So if a person is under the influence of manoratha, like all this wishful thinking, daydreaming, and when nothing is fulfilled, his whole body becomes hollow only. You keep on worrying, I should have done it. I wanted this, it never happened, I tried hard. See, even simple things in our life, when we see a something better car than we have, okay, you feel like, I would like to have that car. And you keep on when it would have been so nice if I had that one. I want this one. So once that thought comes in us, it keeps eating us internally. So we become hollow only. Sutabita loka ishana tini kehi kai mati ina krutana maline. So again, whose mind is not polluted by these ishana tini? Three, in Sanskrit we call it Aishana. So here it is said in Ishana, that's all it is. And what is those three Yeshanas? Suta, that is what you call Putreshana. And then Bita, that is Vitta, that is wealth, that is Vitteshana. Loka, Loka is the world, that is the name and fame. So that is called Lokeshana. So who is it that is not polluted by these three kind of wishes here? So here you see with this Vitteshana, Putreshana and Lokeshana. What is Yeshana? Yeshana means a strong desire. It's not just a little desire. Okay, if it is okay if I get it or not like that. This is a very, very strong desire where you say, I have to have it, I must have it. So here, you take the putreshana. So why everyone wants to have children, especially a son? Because there's a verse also that says, aputrasya gatihi nasti swargaha naivacha naivacha. So if the person doesn't have children, that means there is no chance of going to heavens. So you want to have children, especially a son. And what is vitteshana? Desire for wealth. It is not that you want the wealth to experience the joys and pleasure of this world, but it is called dharmam, dhanat dharmam, I'm sorry, dhanat dharmam. With wealth, you can do so many services, dharma, dana, dharma and all. So one might ask, what is wrong with it? So why do you call it vitteshana? It is because most of the time, people who have desire for, I want this much wealth, I want this much wealth, there is something behind that. Okay, what is that? Some desire. I want to do all this dharma. Why you want to do this? That way I'm going to get lot of punya, and so I'm going to go to better worlds. So even that money, you want the money for the sake of higher worlds. And what is lokeshana? Desire for the name and fame in this world. So see, this lokeshana, it is not visible outside, and you want it, but you cannot talk about it. That is the problem. But everyone has this desire to hear their praises. But when will someone will hear their praise? Only when you do something useful, unselfish thing, something to the society. Then only there is this name and fame. And this also, why we want this one? This is also because this will give us higher worlds when we do the good things. So, but these kind of desires, what does it do? It will actually pollute the mind only, and mind becomes impure. So then Yahasab Maya Karaparivara. Yahasab, all this. What is all this? What just now we talked about? Yovana Jwara, Mamata, Matsara, Chinta, Manorata. Yahasab. All this is what? Maya Karaparivara. It is all the Maya's family. That's all it is. And Prabala Amitiko Baranai Para. So, and who can really Baranai Para, who can really describe them? All these Maya's Parivara. And they are Prabala. They are very, very powerful. And Amiti, that is limitless. So there's no one who can describe the power of this Maya and Maya Parivara also. Siva Chaturanana Jahi Derahi Apara Jiva Kei Leke Mahi. So even Lord Shiva, Chaturanana, four-faced Brahmaji, and even all, they are also afraid of this Derahi, they are also afraid of this Maya. They're awe-struck with the Maya also. See, when we say Lord Shiva and Brahmaji, we are not talking about only of one Brahmanda. See, Bhagavan has created so many Brahmandas, and in each and every Brahmanda there is Narayana, Brahmaji, and Shiva. Okay, and when we talk about the Bhagavan's power is so much. Okay, that means that Bhagavan, who is the Lord of all the Brahmandas, it's not just one. That's why we call him as omniscient, omnipotent, Paramatma. And his power is called as Maya. So the power of Maya, this Maya of Paramatma, so under him, so many cosmoses are there, and that way many Brahmas and Shivas are also there. They themselves, okay, they get deluded. Then what about Apara Jiva Kehi Leke Mahi? So what to talk about other Jivas, teeny Jivas like us? And that's why they should not boast and show off unnecessarily, Mana and Mada and all that. And Vyapi Rahevu Samsara Mohu Maya Kataka Prachanda Senapati Kamadi Bata Damba Kapata Pashanda. So this Maya is Vyapi, it is pervading. This where Mahu Samsara, the entire universe. And this Maya has got a huge army also. That is what kind of an army? Prachanda army, very powerful, invincible army also. There it said Parivara 3, right? And here he's talking about more, not only that, he has a big army also here. So, and who are those? They are Senapati. So the generals are the Kama and etc. So we can say Kama, Krodha and Lobha. So the three generals of this Maya are the Kama, Krodha and Lobha. So, just like in the um, in the forces, we say that we call what you call the Air Force, Navy Force, and the Army Force, like that. So for each there is a chief. So Army Chief, Navy Chief, or Air Force Chief. So these are the Senapatis of the Maya. And then Damba, Kapata, Pashanda, Bhata. Bhata is the soldiers. And who are the soldiers? Damba, Kapata, and Pashanda. What is Damba? Damba is the hypocrisy or the deceit. And what is that deceit? Keeping I and me in my heart, but outwardly saying, oh, it is everything's Bhagavan's will. It is all Bhagavan's doing. But I know I'm feeling good inside and I want appreciation also. But outside I'm saying, oh, it is all Bhagavan's. So that is called Damba. What is Kapata? Kapata is cunningness, cheating, trickery, and Pashanda. Pashanda is that what you call Nastika, unorthodox. So this is how this Maya has the Parivara and also this army. So what it is saying is to be free from all these things is very, very impossible just by self-effort. But can you get over that? Yes, you can get over that. How you can get over that? Only if you surrender to the person to whom this Maya is the servant. Okay, then you will be able to get over that all this Maya and its followers. So that's what is said in the next doha. So dasi raghubirakai samuje mitya sopi chutuna rama krupa binu nata kahu padarupi. So this Maya, which is very, very powerful, under whose control we are all, not only us, the whole cosmos, all the Brahmandas are under that control of that Maya. But that Maya is Dasi Raghubirakai. It is the servant of Sri Ramchandraji Bhagavan. So who is the supreme Lord of the universe. And Samuje Mithya Sopi. So, and this Maya is, it's also very, very peculiar also. So if you realize what that Maya is, and then this whole family, this Parivara also becomes Mithya only. So it is not that real at all, as you think, but it is only a Gnani who can realize that. Okay, but if you surrender to Bhagavan, with Bhagavan's grace and blessings also, you will be able to get it up. Here it says Samuje Mithya Sopi. So means a Gnani people who have the knowledge of the self, and then they understand what is this Maya, and it is Mithya only. So the Mithya word, okay, so what does Mithya mean? So Mithya is that doesn't have its own real existence. It has borrowed existence only. So that is Mithya. Mithya means neither it is true nor it is false. That is called Mithya. See, Brahman is the absolute. We say there is only one and only reality, and that is Brahman. And he is without the second. Then all that appears to our eyes, this whole world of creation of chara and achara and everything is mithya only, because if there is only one God, he is the only one that is there. Without the second, then where is the creation? So this is what we call mithya. So what we see, that is mithya. And that's why we say this world is not real, but we think it is real, and that is because we have this mithya gnana. So in one of the Puranas, it says Mithya is the wife of Adharma, and Mithya's brother is Kapata. So Adharma and Kapata. So in that Purana, it says these two, this is Adharma and Kapata, is very insignificant in the Satya Yuga, but it becomes little subtle. It shows here and there in Treta Yuga. But in Dwapara Yuga, half of it is manifest. There's 50% of this one. But in Kali Yuga, completely manifested. So in this Kali Yuga, we see lot of this Adharma and Kapata here. And Chutana Rama Krupabhino, and this Maya and this Maya's Parivara and the army and everything, it will not go away. Okay. And we might be saying, oh, it is mithya, mithya, mithya. But that kind of knowledge is not going to help us. So it is only by the grace of Bhagavan only, and that falsity of Maya and this falsity of this world, that could be understood. Only that is by his blessings and grace. So Rama Krupa Binu, without his Krupa, this is not going to go at all. And only when this understanding comes, what happens? We realize that Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. This whole thing, everything that we see, everything is Bhagavan only. That is the gnana that you will get. Then at that time, okay, this Maya we will be released from the Maya. Nata kahahu pada ropi. So here Kakabhushandi says, I plant my foot. That means, I'm so sure of this knowledge. I'm so sure of this one, that only with the Bhagavan's Krupa it will go. And he says, this Maya can go only from Lord's grace. Okay. I'm sorry. And here, we have seen even in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan, Lord Krishna says the same thing. My Maya is so strong. Daivi Haisha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva E Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. So this Maya is very, very difficult to cross, but those who take refuge under me, okay, then they go beyond this Maya. So this Maya is not easy to get over that. But the one who has the surrender to Bhagavan, he is able to get over that. So continuing the description of Maya, Kakabhushandi gives beautiful description of this Maya. And then after describing the Maya with so many examples also he gives, okay, then he talks about who is that Mayapati, under whom we should come, to whom we should surrender, that Mayapati. So first he finishes all the Maya, and then he talks about who is the Sri Ramchandraji and what are his gunas. Actually, he gives 32 gunas of Sri Ramchandraji, and that we will see in the next class. It is 347. So we will continue in our next class about Maya and Mayapati. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om, everyone. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Gitaji.
Okay. Since I'm not able to hear you and all that,